Okay. Guys, welcome to the Team on the Run call on Monday, March 6th. I cannot believe we're already a week into March. This month is going fast. I'm super, super excited for those of you who are able to pop on the call. Ashley and I met through the New Leader Conference, and I spoke on her call, and we just have connected, you know, via the coaching community. And I love her energy. I love following her on social media. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about her, and then I will let her take over the call for us. She is married, and she has 3 kiddos. She lives in Buffalo, New York, so it is late there for her, and she's very kind to talk to us at 9:30 at night, her time. She's a 4-star diamond, which I think I told you guys. She's been coaching for 3 years, and she's the founder of Team Smash. And she's just super fun and likable to follow on social media, and fun and likable in person too. And we chatted a little bit about how kind of we organize the way our team calls work and our team calendars, and we do a lot of things really similar. So I'm just excited to have her here to motivate us and lift us up and share with us what she knows. So I'm going to turn it over to her, and I'll let her get rocking and rolling.
Awesome. Can you guys hear me okay on this, or is it too loud, not loud enough? It's good? All right. I just got this computer actually a couple days ago, and so I do apologize because I was using it for the past, well, actually for probably the first year of my business, I did everything from my phone, and it was really hard. And then I got a pretty ghetto Toshiba laptop, which I used until just a week ago. And I got a MacBook Air, and I have an Apple phone, but I gotta be honest, I'm really struggling adjusting. So if you can't hear me or something, just chat in and I will put my headphones in. My old computer, the motor was really big in that Toshiba, and I swear you could hear the fan blowing. So I had to put headphones in, and then I always felt like I was screaming. So if you can't hear me, just like flag me down or something, and I will absolutely make it better. So I'm going to go ahead and attempt to share my screen here. Everything looks just the same, but I'm going to click present. And if you could just give me a thumbs up once that loads to see if you could see it. I clicked present, but it might take a second on my end. Okay. And of course, now I can't see you. Bear with me. I appreciate the patience, because now I can't see any of you. So one sec. And it's loading. I'll be patient. Okay. Well, I'm going to keep it like this if you guys don't mind, just because I can't see you and that makes me nervous if something's wrong. So I appreciate that welcome. I do apologize that I didn't talk on your call a couple weeks ago when I was supposed to. This has been a really cruddy year for sickness with my family, and basically we have went through just about every sickness you can between me and my husband and our 3 kids since the beginning of the year. The weather in New York is not very friendly right now. It's very up and down, and it's really, really hard to kind of stick around with things like that. And I have went through a lot of junk. And when I was supposed to speak on your call, I truly had zero voice at all. I would open my mouth to talk and it was just air. And that was it. And it was very frustrating for days. So I appreciate you guys waiting it out like that. This is my family. This is my husband and my 3 kids, and they are my why. Like she said, I was doing this it was 3 years on February 23rd. And I didn't realize kind of the blessing that was coming towards me when I jumped into this. A little background on me really quick, and then I'll jump into it. I started off as a coach, not knowing what it was, never trying a Beachbody product, never trying Shakeology. I literally joined as a coach with a 21-day fix challenge pack, and I had no idea what I was doing whatsoever. I was in a really bad point in our lives. We actually lived in North Carolina at the time, and we were paycheck to paycheck. I was in a huge funk with depression and anxiety and feeling like just kind of things in my life, I wasn't getting them to line up properly. And I just felt like, although I was a mother and a wife, and those are huge jobs, I know that, but I felt like when that was all said and done, I didn't have anything that was mine. I didn't really have a purpose. I didn't really have a hobby. I didn't have anything I liked to go do. And I was just feeling really empty. And I felt like I had a really big void. And then on top of that, we had extreme financial strains back then. And it was just really a really stressful time. When I started coaching, we actually had one of our utilities shut off a week prior to that because we just did not have the money at all. And I scrounged and scrounged selling kids things on Craigslist and this and that because I was determined to start off and buy a challenge pack, and I was going to make this work, and I was going to make it work no matter what. I did end up, without even really knowing what I was doing, hitting Diamond Coach before my first 30 days. And it was mind-blowing to me. I actually hit it and didn't even know that I did until my upline coach, who I don't know if you know her, Lauren Duke, until she told me that I did. I didn't even know. I didn't even realize that that's what had happened. So I hit the ground running. I was enthusiastic and passionate about sharing, and I really think that it comes down to your passion and, you know, your excitement and your energy and the way that you bring things to the table. We all have different strengths and weaknesses, and I believe that it is how we bring them out and how we choose to show them that is what is going to get us as far as we need to go with this and as far as we'd like to go. I tend to speak on calls, even for my own team right now, on lifestyle things and things that aren't really business oriented, because it's really, I'm not really good at organization or time management or rule following, which is why I will attempt to stick to my slides, which are poorly made because I'm awful at that too, and just kind of stick to the point, because I can get really sidetracked and I can talk forever. But I think that when you start coaching, if you go all in and you want this to be a game changer for you and your life and your family, it really becomes meshed into your lifestyle. It's part of who you are. And that's why I choose to do my calls on these kind of topics, is because I think that there's so much to be said about weaving it into your life, that when all is said and done at the end of the day, yes, Success Club and the numbers and the coach online office, that's all obviously important to get you from step A to step B, but it's part of your life. You have to make it part of your life. You have to really walk the walk while you talk the talk, and you have to be able to feel it and really be involved. So that was just a little bit about me, and I want to jump right into kind of what I'm going to talk about tonight, which is society and life in general. I had my first son when I was 16. I was pregnant my entire senior year of high school. He's going to be 12 this year, which I cannot even believe. And I can tell you right now, I learned at a very, very, very young age that my life was not the normal, usual society, what they think is right. It wasn't the right plan. And I found myself for a large portion of my life apologizing to myself and to others because I wasn't doing things by the books, or I wasn't doing things what society deemed to be the right way, or, you know, the normal way. And you kind of have to come into this kind of a business, an entrepreneurial business, with your mindset already shifted and knowing right out of the gate that no matter how you were raised, no matter where you grew up, no matter who raised you, we've been programmed like this for as long as we were kids. For as long as we can remember, we have been kind of conditioned to believe that there just is like a right or a normal way to do something. And when you do things a little bit different, unfortunately, the society that we lived in, it's kind of judged and it's kind of stared at and pointed at and frowned upon. And that's just black and white truth of what it is. And that leads me into kind of what we're going to talk about. This was my favorite board game when I was a child. And I loved it so much. I loved playing it. And it would bother me because I'd have to team up with family members because there's only like 4 cars. So you have to share with people. And, you know, if you think about this game, this simple family game, I'm sure you guys have played it before. If not, that's shame on you. You need to play that. But you get your little car piece and you get your peg and you start and you make a decision right then and there. Are you going to get a job with no college degree, or are you going to go to college? And if you dare pick, you're not going to go to college, you get this like crappy like choice of cards, okay? And they're okay, but none of them are good. Like, you get the good cards to choose from if you choose to go to college, okay? So when I was a child, I was like, oh gosh, I need to go to college because I need like that big card so that every time I hit payday, I get all this money. So already, our brains, they're conditioned. They're ready to believe like you need to go to college. Now, I'm not saying you don't need to go to college, but I think you can comprehend what I'm getting at here. And then this game takes you through these windy roads, and you go in a certain order, do you not? You get married and you get a house, and then you have babies. And you know what they do at the very, almost near the end of that game? They are saying to you, hey, do you want to switch your job up? How about you go back to school? Go to night school. If you didn't go to school at all, here's your second chance to make your life good. Go to night school. You can go to college again. You get a second chance to get those good cards, and you can start over that way. It's showing us that there's a set way that society deems you're supposed to do something. We are all conditioned to believe that. It's natural for us. It's just the way that it is. So when we come out of the gates and we're running with a job that you don't really need a college education, and you do things wacky out of order, we're kind of oddballs, and we're not really what society feels like is right. It comes off with red flags. It comes off like it's a scam. It comes off like it's too good to be true. And people immediately put up all of these walls about joining an opportunity like that, because how could you blame them? Every single thing they've been through in their life has basically put a wall up and told them, nope, it's not the way you're supposed to do things. You're supposed to do it in order this way. And if you do it differently, I'm sorry, but you're weird. We are a bunch of weirdos. And I feel like if we go through this business and we know that ahead of time, it's a lot easier to handle objections because you already see it coming. You know that's coming. You are ready for it. You're willing to accept them, and you're kind of comprehending why people might give you those objections. So because we are not that way, and we have a blessing in us to understand that, we can see past what society has deemed as normal. We know there's a different way. Take that all in. We know that in this opportunity, there's long-term reward, no matter what society says. We know that this takes time, and it's a lifestyle. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. It's going to take consistency. It's going to take hard work, complete ups and downs. And it's a cycle that we have to keep going. I can tell you 3 years in this business, and I don't know how long you all have been here, but I've had times where I am going full speed. And if you slow down a little bit, guess what? You have got to start all over again with that speed, because once you slow down, you're back to square one. And you learn that from trial and error. We know that this job is a complete series of planting and harvesting. Not everything is going to be instantaneous. Things take time. You plant seeds every day, and they might not come around for a long time. But if you keep doing that series, it is going to happen. This is all things that our minds know this, because we are entrepreneurs. But the people you're speaking to every day, customers, coach prospects that you have, they don't know that. Just like at one point you didn't. We know that the reward in this is so, so big. And we know that there is another way to start off the game of life. We know that. We wish we'd have seen it sooner. We want other people to see it so bad that we get so frustrated when they don't. But if you just take a step back, take a deep breath, and just remember, put yourself in their shoes before you started. Think of why they might be telling you the objections that they have. We know why. It is our job to show them that it's different. That's why we're here. So that being said, we need to learn to run our businesses in a different way. We can't run them the way that society has been taught. This coin-operated life, this mindset that we're programmed from once we're kids. People in this world want immediate return. You see it every day on social media. You see it every day everywhere. People, absolutely not to shame other companies, but we're talking pills and wraps and, quick fixes. That's what people want. How many times have you seen a status or somebody say like, I'm going to Jamaica next week. I need to drop 13 pounds. And you're thinking like, you're going to die. Like, that's not going to happen. Like, that's not right. And they're going to go to vacation and put on more weight than that. And then they're going to be back in a bigger rut. People don't see that. They want to just put their coin in and they want to just have something come right out. And we know that that's not how it's going to work. People aren't patient. They want right now. We are strong enough and different that we know that is not how it works. But people don't. So we have to show them. We have got to commit to ourselves as well that we're not going to expect immediate return in this business. We have got to let that go. And the best way to do that is personal development and teamwork. And I know my team, probably this team as well, they get personal development hammered so hard into their heads that I think every time I say it, they kind of cringe a little because they just don't want to hear it. But that is such truth. You have weaknesses for a reason. You need personal development to keep making yourself stronger every day so that not only can you fight the the past of coin operated life, of wanting things instantly, of how we are conditioned to believe life is supposed to be. Not only do you have to fight that every day personally for you, your job is to teach other people that that's not the way too. You are not going to be able to do that if your mindset is not right. So I have totally been stuck in the coin operated life. Like I said, I felt in the past like I was such a failure. I mean, at a very young age, I had already done so much wrong in society's eyes, from having a baby in high school to being married and then divorced and married again. I did go to college for 2 years, and now I'm just paying student loans for a degree that I have never touched in my life. I have had more jobs than I can even tell you. The truth of the matter is, this coaching job that I have, my business that was just 3 years last month, that is honestly the longest I have ever kept a job in my life. And that tells me something. That shows me something. Certainly not the easiest job, but learn from my mistakes. Putting myself in that mindset of, gosh, I'm such a failure. I didn't do anything the way that I was supposed to do. That's just garbage. There is no right way. There is no way that we have to be. Society has that held down on us, and we have got to be strong enough to not believe it and to show others the exact same. And like I told you guys, I started my coaching completely determined to make it work. I felt like it was the right thing, and I felt like it was kind of a do or die thing. I needed to make it work. I went completely all in. When I look back on how I started, I essentially, like I said, I was passionate, I was excited, I was energetic, and I was all in. When you're all in and you're that passionate and excited and obsessed and you're vulnerable and you're consistently sharing, I hate to say people are going to come to you, but they will come to you. Energy like that, people get attracted to that. It worked for me for a while, clearly, because I hit diamonds so fast. But since then, yes, you have to work a little harder. You have to get out there. It doesn't work forever like that. And I've had so many moments in the past 3 years where I've had moments where I am like way up here. I'm on top of the world. I'm like, I'm the best coach ever. And then like literally the next month I panic and I'm like, what am I doing here? I'm a terrible leader. I can't even do X, Y, Z right. And I doubt myself because I'm human. I start to feel like I'm just drowning and failing. And that is called being human. We all do that. What you need to learn and what you need to really hold on to is your why. Like I said earlier, why are you here? I know that even in my bad days, in my really good days where I feel on point, and in my really bad days where I crawl into bed and I think, what am I doing? My intentions in this business have been pure from the very get-go. I never came into this with a greedy heart. I never, ever wanted to do anything that didn't feel right. I wanted to help my family, I wanted to help myself, and I wanted to help others do the exact same. And that is the God's honest truth. If you can get into bed even on the crap days and know that intentionally you are trying to do the right thing, you're going to be pulling yourself farther and farther every single day. I've made so many mistakes. I make mistakes every single day, lots of them. But my mindset and approach weren't always on point, but like I said, my intentions have always been beyond pure. And I think that goes a long way. My vision that I've had since the beginning, it definitely hasn't changed. I still want the same thing that I wanted when I started, but my focus has for sure shifted. As you grow and as you build and as you navigate through this, you learn new things and you learn as you go, and you start to pick up pieces and things kind of change and things light up in a different path, and things that you didn't see before, you'll start to see. You need to be able to be strong enough mentally, like I said, with the teamwork, leaning on your team, plugging into everything your upline has to offer you. When they post something in, I don't know if she has this problem, but I do. They post something in the page and 37 people see it and 2 like it or comment. Like, come on. You need to get your mindset right, lean on your team, lean on your teamwork, lean on your personal development. These people get you. They are in your corner. You already have them. Use that to your advantage, because you're going to need to be together and working together to be able to get in other people's heads and spin ideas around, to be able to, I hate to sound cult-like, but conform the non-believers to this lifestyle. Because guys, there's people who look at our stuff every day, every single day, and they think we are a crock of doo-doo. They think we are terrible. They think we are trying to get a quick sale. They think we're trying to manipulate them. They think we're fake. They don't know. They don't get it. These people on your team, they get it. Your personal development, it's going to strengthen you every day. It's going to make you better for you, your downline, your upline, your team, your coaches, your customers, people to come on your team, your family. Skipping your personal development is going to be the thing that I think hurts your business the most. And I can say that from a lot of experience. I get up every day at 5 a.m. This is beyond past my bedtime. Like, I am a hot mess right now. I go to bed really early, like a lame person, and I get up really early. I choose to do that. It's what works best for me. I'm definitely a morning person, but I don't do that every day expecting to get an immediate return. If that was the case, I would have stopped a long time ago. I do it because I have a vision, and it's not going to go anywhere. So you need to have a vision that gives yourself the chills. You need to be confident in yourself. I can tell you all, without even knowing any of you, with complete confidence, that I know, I will be a 6-figure earner. I'm going to walk the stage at Summit. I'm going to be a superstar diamond. I'm not going to worry about finances. My kids won't. My husband won't. We are going to be financially set. And I fully intend with everything in my being to help others on my team do the same. I have a huge vision. It scares the crap out of me. And it's something that I plan to work towards every single day. It does mean giving stuff up. I think I'm pretty positive I missed The Bachelor tonight, which I love. You have to be willing to kind of balance out your priorities in a way where you have to look at 2 things. What's gonna help you out more right now? Is getting on this team call and speaking to some of you guys going to be more beneficial, or is me laying on the couch watching The Bachelor going to be more beneficial? You have to be willing to prioritize a little bit and do things that other people won't do in order to propel yourself forward. Again, mindset is huge. We already talked about the way to strengthen that is personal development. Again, this won't happen overnight. It is a lifestyle. We've already established that that there's another way. You need to consistently, vulnerably, and openly live it out. knowing in your head that you are going to get so much pushback. You're going to get people in your family and your friends that say cruddy things. You're going to get people that talk behind your back and think you're crazy and tell you no, and it's going to happen. But you also have to know that you are making a difference. You're building a brand that is so uniquely beautiful to you, a reputation for yourself, a name. And you're willing to plant and harvest things where it will grow because your intentions are pure. You go to bed every night telling yourself that. You also know that you can't, goal setting is something really it's a touchy subject for me because I have goals. I write them down. I love the 12-week year, and I make goals for myself all the time. I miss them all the time too. I just want to put that out there. I set goals all the time and I don't get to them, but I keep making goals. In the back of my mind though, I know as an entrepreneur that I cannot put a complete time frame on things. Just because I miss something 7 times does not mean that the 8th time I'm not going to get it. If you already know that before going in, when you fail, it could happen. But who's to say that next time you're not going to get it? Okay. And you have the bigger picture down the road for your life as a whole, not tomorrow, not next week, not next year. What is it going to look like in 5 years? What is your life going to look like? How many other people's lives are you going to change by changing the way that they view the normal? So some action steps for you when bad things happen, those objections, or you missed a goal, or people are harassing you, or somebody says something hurtful, or anything, you've missed rank. You need to step back and you really need to be truthful with yourself. Are you looking for a quick return in whatever this issue is with you? Are you being coin operator right now? Or are you being an entrepreneur? Are you going to say, you know what? I didn't hit what I wanted to hit right now, and just throw it all away? That was it. I shouldn't do this anymore. I suck at it. No, you know that it might not happen this time. Things like filling a challenge group up, hitting Success Club. Please don't confuse what I'm saying. Those things are extremely important. But if some hiccup happens, are you just, that's it? That's just done? And I always tell my coaches, yes, this is a job, and there's no shame in that. A lot of people are here, even if you're here because you're passionate and you love it, because I know that in my heart. At the end of the day, you're sacrificing your time. This is a job. This is something for you to make money. But let me tell you this. If you wake up on Thursday morning and the first thing you do is check your commissions, you need to gut check yourself, because that's not going to make your commissions any higher. You need to be worried about truly helping people, making connections, communicating with them, working on your life, on their life. I'm not telling you that wanting to make money with this is bad or something that shouldn't fuel you, because I get that. I came from absolutely nothing. But if that is your focus, and that's the first thing you do when you wake up Thursday and you're disappointed, you should probably take a step back and swallow something down a little and understand that maybe that's not what the focus should be. Okay? This is about you changing somebody's life. Think of how much your life has changed since you started as a coach. From the smallest things to the biggest things, from the groceries you put on the grocery belt for you and your family, to the way you can handle certain emotional things, to your fitness goals, to your financial aspects. This is a bigger thing than just selling a challenge pack and getting 2 points on the board. And if you can just realize that and take it all in, each quote unquote sale becomes a lot sweeter because you invest so much in it. If you find that you're stuck in negative mindsets, personal development, I want to quickly talk about our minds and how the natural state of your minds. I started thinking about this. I heard it on a call, and then my mother just moved into a house. Sorry, this is a little backstory. And she loves houseplants. And she wasn't going to have her house for like 2 months to move in yet. And she wanted somewhere to keep her plants, to keep them watered and safe. And she had like 20 of them. And I kill houseplants and I'm really bad at them. But she asked if she can keep them here and would I just water them and take care of them? And I said yes. And then the next day I heard this analogy on a call and it really was like, wow, that's weird, because she had just given me all these plants. But I thought it was really cool. So basically she talks about the natural state of your mind is weeds. And if you don't nourish it, nourish your mindset, if you don't give it the things that it needs, that being personal development, fitness, healthy eating, if you don't do those things, you're not going to get anything to grow. You need to be able to work on yourself in order to even get your soil ready for anything to even happen from it. That is the core. That is you. If you do the bare minimum, you can maybe like keep those weeds like sort of under control. But if you really, really work on yourself and you get that soil ready and it is just at the brink of having something bloom, you will, with your consistency and with keeping it clean enough. And then when something sprouts, it starts to get things attracted to it. And then you'll have customers pull in and they need to do the same. And as you keep growing and growing, it really is important to remember that your mind needs those things consistently, because without you giving yourself what you need, you cannot be a good coach to your customers, to your coaches. Working on yourself is, if you stop that, your business will fail. If you, I hate to say if you're lying, because I don't mean like you're a liar, but if you're pretending to be on track and you're kind of slacking, it's going to make a difference in your business. It really is. And I think that's a really beautiful thing with this opportunity, because what is better than your paychecks and your success pending on how well you take care of yourself? That's a really amazing thing. And I don't know another company that truly works like that. So working on yourself, mind, body, everything will make your business bloom so much. If you're frustrated where your business is in this moment, I want you to think about those things. I want you to first gut check yourself and think, am I really taking care of myself the best way that I can? Am I really doing my workouts every day? Am I really having my Shakeology every day and being a product of the product? Am I sharing that I'm doing that? Like these simple things, the 4 vital behaviors that are so simple to do, but they're so simple not to do as well. Are you really consistently doing them? Not just for like 3 days, but for a decent length of time. I want you to be honest with yourself. If you can already stop there and be like, you know what, I'm not, then there you go. But past that, dig into what is wrong. Are you really battling inviting? Find a personal development book. I'm sure your coach can help you, something to help you with inviting. Get on YouTube and just literally type that in. So much at your fingertips. If it's objections and you really just can't stand getting them and it just, you can't handle it, look into personal development with that. Figure out what it is that is you stopping you and work on it. You can do that. You can change it. You have absolutely all the power in the world to do that. You can do it. And lastly, we're so hard on ourselves as coaches. Like I told you guys, even 3 years in, even with all of that knowledge, there are still days where I'll get a coach email, an email from Coach Relations saying that somebody quit. And I'm like, gosh, that person didn't even tell me they were quitting. I suck. Like I couldn't, like that person didn't even tell me, like I thought things were going good. And we're so hard on ourselves. We're so quick to jump and make it like we're just not doing enough and focus on the bad things. It's so easy to focus on the bad. But that is where you need to quickly recognize that you're doing that to yourself, center yourself, shift your mindset, and think about what it is that you need to do. I started this when I talked about this with my team, because I find that when my team, I was trying to figure out where I could help them without sounding like a broken record. We had guest speakers on, or I would post a video on my team page, or we would have a training and they would be like, this is awesome. I can't wait to get that book you talked about. I love that. I'm going to go get it. I'm going to implement this training. And they're fired up and they are inspired and they're so motivated and they're ready to just make changes. And they list out XYZ what they're going to do. And then they don't do it. How many times have you talked about, oh, yeah, I heard about that book. I heard it was so good, that personal development book. I'm going to get that one. And then you don't, weeks go by, or you get it and it literally just sits there staring at you and you don't open it. You need to take action steps, and action steps mean actually doing those things. Sometimes we get so, intertwined in wanting to be better. We want it so bad. We want to gather all this knowledge. We want to just take it all in. We're going to learn, and it's great. And you hold it all and you retain it, but you don't do anything with it. And that is you working against yourself, and you're really holding yourself back. Focus. Get up in the morning, and instead of giving yourself a list of 47 things you need to get done, and at the end of the day when you got 2 done, you're like, wow, I suck, I can't do anything, my time management's awful. Just give yourself 3 things, the most important things for the day, because I guarantee you when you get those 3 things done, you're like, I'm awesome, got my whole list done, and I'm going to go over to my other list with everything on the backup. Now I'll get something done out of that list too. I did 4 things today, the 3 most important things for what you need right now, and just work from that. Start reverse engineering yourself a little bit and lifting yourself up instead of being such a bully to yourself all the time. And that goes into stalling your own momentum and getting in your own way. That's all part of that. That's what I just said. You get this high and you have all these ideas, you're going to implement them, and then you just don't do it. So please think about doing that. And then I'll just end this with saying that you just need to take a little bit of time to yourself and figure out what it is you want out of this. What do you want out of life? What do you want out of this business? What gives you all the goosies and all the feels and the chills? What can you really visualize for your future? We still rent a house right now for a few different reasons. And I swear I'm to the point where I can close my eyes and I can visualize walking into our dream house with my husband and my 3 kids. I could smell it. I know what things look like. It's actually to a point where it's pretty creepy. And it gives me chills every single time. And if you can't do that, if you haven't casted your vision that much that you can do that, you need to work on it a little bit. And that's okay. You guys can do absolutely anything. As cheesy and like mom life as that sounds, you really can. And if you do have kids on this call, we preach that, or any children in your life, you preach it and you preach it and you preach it. But, you kind of got to do it too. You got to believe it for yourself and think about what you want your life to look like in years from now. And you can do it by changing small things every single day. So hopefully you guys got some good tips from that. That is, I think, all that I have. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing and unmute myself, or mute. What do I do? I don't know. I think I'm good.
You're good.
If you guys have any questions, I'm totally cool with answering some.
That was so fabulous, Ashley. Thank you so much. Am I right? That just spoke to my heart, and I needed to hear that. Even after doing this for almost 5 years, it still is easy to lose track sometimes of your vision and start bullying yourself, like you said. So this was wonderful, a wonderful call. I would love to open it up to you guys for some questions if you're game.
Don't be shy.
Sarah says, thank you so much. Me too.
You're welcome.
Questions for Ashley? Don't be shy. This team is usually
don't be shy.
Question askers. Anyone? I'll ask a question. Ashley, where are your best coaches or most of your coaches coming from to your team? Where are
What
you
do you,
finding them?
where am I finding them?
Mm-hmm.
Um, well, I honestly am really bad at the like page game.
Me too.
I don't know if anybody, I started at the end of last year, the Jesse Reagan training. Um, it's extremely beneficial and extremely worth the money. But it is very time consuming. It teaches you a lot. I don't know if anybody's in it. I'm currently working through it, but my like page gives me like hives because I get such anxiety from lack of interaction. But I do a lot of stalking. I have no shame whatsoever. So I will gladly go to a page that has nothing to do with fitness, mom pages, different like health foods, like silly things like Quest bars, things that you like, and just look at their content. And I will go over there and I will look at like a popular video or post and I'll look at who likes it. And I know it sounds really creepy, but I will look through them and I'll go on their page and it's really quick. It's a really quick, like, if it looks like somebody that I might connect with or talk to and they don't look like they're a coach or in anything I'll, even with no mutual friends, I honestly will friend request them. And then I usually give it 24 hours. And if they don't message me at that point, I will message them and tell them, thanks for accepting my friend request, and tell them that Facebook suggested we be friends and that I just love to make new friends on here and I just wanted to say hi. Sometimes they completely ignore me. Sometimes they delete me as a friend as quick as they requested me. And sometimes we really do have conversation. And I never say anything Beachbody related, to be honest with you. I'm very open and very there on my page, my personal page. And if they're on my friends list, they're going to see what I'm offering and doing. And I really just find that you've got to consistently be adding more people to your network because you cannot keep flipping over the same deck of cards and expect different results. You can't.
Yep.
So, I mean, I'm always adding to my network and making conversation. There are people that I talk to and I just focus it on building friendships and connections. There's people that I add and start talking to and I'm honestly like, nope, I don't, there's nothing. And that's okay. And it is time consuming, but it works and it matters. It makes a difference to build that friendship and connection with them.
Thank you. That's helpful.
Basically, I reach out a lot. I don't just kind of sit back
Okay.
and hope.
That helps. Other questions, guys? Otherwise, I've got another one I'll roll with, but don't be shy. Favorite personal development books?
Um,
I know
well,
I'm
I've
putting you
read
on the
this
spot.
one. I've
Yeah,
read this one probably 4 times now.
I love that one.
I love it. But probably my favorite is I Am That Girl.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably my 2
I
favorites.
haven't read that one.
Oh, I love it. It's also a pink cover.
Yep. I know what you speak of.
Yeah. And I really, I liked The Miracle Morning.
Mm-hmm.
I did have to read it twice to be able to like fully get into it. And what I've noticed too is I have a huge stack of books that I'm looking over there at. I've started books or audios or podcasts and it's just sometimes it's just not the right time in your business for those books or for your personal life. And I started reading them and said it's just not right now is not the time. And I put it away for a later time and you don't know, like you might go back to it and that's the perfect time.
Good point. Good point. You need to read what speaks to you
Yeah.
and where you're at in your business and your life. I agree. Any other questions, ladies? Okay. Those are my only questions. I mean, I could probably pick your brain all night, but I realize it's like Yeah, after it's almost 10:30 there.
I
And
should say too, just going back to when I reach out to people, I've tried a bazillion trackers and I'm super, super, super unorganized. Like I really am. And I've tried everything. I find Asana to work best personally for me. It's so easy and it's free and it's just so simple to set up. And basically, when I reach out to those people, like I was talking about earlier, I will just go in and like just click that I talked to them. It's so easy to set up. And then I can actually show you really quick if you want to see.
yes, we do.
And it's been so easy for me. Like it really, I'm not good with keeping things organized, but this is what I use every day because it's free and it works. It's simple enough. So it's really easy to set up. I don't know if anybody uses it, but I have these little things. Oh, you can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, over on this side. And so I call them my future customers. So
I like that intention you're
yeah,
setting.
so when I send out a friend request, I don't add them here. When they accept my friend request, this is when I add them here. So right at the top, I made this top thing. It always stays there. And these are what I do with them. I send them a hey girl. I like and comment on their things. I share something personal. I like and comment again, and then I invite. This cycle might take me, depending on the conversation, a month. It might take me a week. It depends on how the conversation flows. It's different for every person. So what I'll do when somebody accepts my request, I'll come over here and I'll make sure I'm highlighted to cycle. And I will put copy this task. I'll write their name like Ann Smith. And it will create them and they'll come right here. I'll highlight on their name and I will send them a hey girl message after 24 hours. So I should backtrack. Once they accept it, I'll move them in here. And then I'll say to myself, okay, 24 to 48 hours, you're going to check back in with them on the 8th. This will alert me that I need to do something with them, just like these do. So then on Wednesday, if she hasn't messaged me yet saying like, why did you friend request me? Because they do say sometimes, do I know you? And I'll just say hello. I'll make a hey girl. If I want to, and then I'll click when I do it. If I want to copy and paste what I wrote, I could put it in there. And I just move Anne through the process. Once I send her that hey girl, I'll go up here. Okay, I just sent her that. I'm going to switch her now. I'm going to give it a couple days. I'll go back and make sure I like and comment on something by Saturday. So she's set up for Saturday. On Saturday, I'll go. If things haven't progressed already, I'll like and comment something. And I'm just moving down the list until I feel comfortable to get to that invite. And that's how I keep track of all these people that I just do this to. Like, I don't know any of these people, but I have hopes that they'll be my future customers. So that's where I put them. If they tell me no, I'll move it to, I have something for no's at the bottom. If they don't respond, I'll move them. It's so easy to just move them down. I'll just move them to, they didn't answer me. And if they do, I'll just pop back in and switch it and change it. So, and it's so easy. Like, it really is like the easiest thing to set up and do.
Asana. I got it. Cool.
That's how I keep up with all of that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That's helpful. I am a hot mess when it comes to tracking. Anyone else? Okay.
I am just bad at it, but that has really been the one thing that I can commit to. And it's nice because when I do my power hour, I will go in there once I've, done what I need to do, and I'll just start working down my list. I'll just go down and, okay, it's Tuesday. I need to check in with this person. Where am I at? Okay, I already sent them their hey girl. I already liked and stuff. Okay, now I need to message them and, check in on them, see how they're doing, share something personal, gain a friendship. Sometimes it takes longer and sometimes it takes shorter to get through that list and flow. And if they tell me no, not right now, then I have another list where I move them to, I just scroll them down. I'll say like, okay, can I check back up with you next month? And that's that.
Okay.
Ashley, when you were first setting up Asana, how long did it take you to get like all of your contacts loaded in and kind of the initial data dump of where you were at with everybody. Was it like hours and hours or days, or
So
how did
that's a
that
really
go?
good question. I honestly did not carry over old contacts. When I started doing this, I started it January 1st. I started fresh. These were my brand new contacts, completely brand new. Nobody went in there unless I was just adding them. So that's all people that I've built since then. I did not carry over anybody.
So do you have a different method for tracking like your existing customers, your follow-ups, your non-responders that you were working with before that?
I don't. I don't have a method that I used, and I was finding that I was scattered and all over the place, and I wanted a clean start. And to go, I can put them, you can make a task for old people. Like you can certainly do that, and it probably would not be that time consuming. But for the future customers, I started that off as like a fresh thing, like future. I never talked to them. They're brand new contacts.
Sure. Okay, thank you.
Tracking has really never been my strong suit, and I've been harassed by corporate to get better at that because it's really one of my downfalls. So starting this beginning of this year, I decided I needed to find something. I tried Streak, I tried TeamZ. I actually really did like TeamZ, but you have to pay for it after 30 days, and Asana just is a lot more simple in my opinion, and the simpler the better for me. So
That makes sense. That's cool. Thank you.
mm-hmm.
I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
I have not found my tracking system yet, so
Yeah,
this will be it.
Takes some time.
Yeah. Any other questions, ladies? Okay. Well, Ashley, I know I speak for the team when I say that we are so grateful for your time tonight, and I just feel rejuvenated and excited, and it was just really cool to hear your story, and you just spoke to my heart. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. And if you guys have any other questions, you can definitely reach out and message me, or you can ask your coach and she can talk to me. So don't feel like can't ask me anything. I'm very much an open book.
Sounds good. Thank you, Ashley, so much. We really, really appreciate it.
No problem. Have a good night, guys.
You too. Get some rest.
All right. Bye.
Bye.